Hey guys, I'm going to take a few minutes here to walk you through all of the questions on the Unit 3 Form A assessment that you took last week. So we'll jump right into number one. Number one says, what is the solution to the system of equations that's graphed below? Now, remember that when we solve the system by graphing, we are just looking at where the lines cross. So you've got two lines there. There's your system, your two lines. Where they cross, that's the answer. And it's an ordered pair. I can tell that by looking at all of the options. So just remember how you name an ordered pair. You start at the middle, you go left and right first. This one needs to go left 1 and then up 2 to land right at that ordered pair. Left is a negative direction, up is a positive. So it's -1, 2. Number 1 is C. Number 2 says, what is the value of just y in the solution to this system? So different method I'm going to use. I'm not going to go for graphing like number 1. I don't have a graph available to me. So I've got substitution or elimination. To me, this is a little bit better for elimination because I noticed that the y's right there, it's +3, -1. The signs are already positive, negative, that's what I need. So if I can just make this bottom term turn into a -3, I'm going to be able to start elimination. So we'll worry about the y part later. Let's go ahead and get it set up to solve. I want to change this bottom equation. To do that, I can multiply it by something. I'm going to multiply it by 3, so that y term turns into -3. All right, you got to multiply everything though. So that would be 9x minus 3y equals 12. All right, now I'm going to just ignore this. Let's try to erase those lines there. Okay, that's a little bit better. So I'm going to ignore that middle equation because I just changed it. Okay, so I'm ready to go for elimination. Again, I'm ignoring this one. I'm adding the top one and my new one. So 6x plus 9x is 15x. The y's eliminate. That's 0. 3 plus -3. On the other side, I'm going to do 33 plus 12, which is 45. Okay, now it's just a really basic equation. So I'm going to divide by 15, solve this here. Run it into the other equation or the other problem, but 45 divided by 15, x equals 3. Okay, be careful. That's not the answer. Let's kind of remove all that now. That's not the answer, you guys. They want to know what the y value is. So just read really carefully. Let's do this. So you have x. I want y though. Once you have one answer, you bring your number back up to the problem and you pick one of the equations to plug it into. This one's pretty plain to me. I like that. So I'm going to put 3 in for that x right there because I know x is 3. So 3 times 3 minus y equals 4. I'm going to solve that for y. So that's 9. Then I'm going to subtract 9. And careful, this is -y equals -5. There's actually a -1 there, so I have to divide by -1. Clearly, I did not have enough space to do this problem, but y would equal negative divided by negative, +5. So the answer is B for number 2. Got a little sloppy. We'll try to do better on number 3. Number 3, if a system of linear equations has an answer of infinitely many solutions, okay, what must be true about the graphs of their lines? Okay, go back up maybe to number 1. We said where the lines cross is the answer. This problem, number 1, had one answer. Okay, you guys, if there's infinite answers, that means it's unlimited answers. So your lines, they cross at every single point. So when you graph one of them, there it is. When you graph the other one, it's right on top of the other one. They cross at every single point there. Okay, so these lines are the same line. A is the answer to number 3. Number 4, how many solutions will the following system have? You must have work to get credit for this problem. So you have to show work. Do not just guess and get lucky. You won't get points. Now, they didn't tell me how to solve it, but guys, if I want to see how many solutions there are, I just need to go ahead and solve it. So I can see, and hopefully you can recognize this too, that y is by itself. When a variable is by itself, substitution is better. So y is the same thing as that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take that negative 1/3 x plus 8, which I know we don't like that, but we're going to deal with the fraction. And I'm going to substitute that in where y is. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite that second equation. 2x plus 6. Next to the 6, I'm going to put parentheses, negative 1/3 x plus 8. Close the parentheses. Okay, then finish the rest of it, equals 18. This is not ideal because there's a fraction, but I'm just going to go ahead and distribute. So 2x, 6 times negative 1/3. You guys, if you have a good calculator, which I've been like on you guys to get a good calculator, it saves you right here because there's a fraction button. So if you have a nice calculator, remind me to tell you how to put the fractions in. If you need to do this by hand, you can. 6 times negative 1/3. You just multiply across. So it would be negative 6 on top, 3 on the bottom. Negative 6 divided by 3 is negative 2. Okay, so it wasn't meant to be that bad, but I know fractions are tough. So that's just negative 2x. 6 times 8 is 48. Look what happens to your x's here. 2x minus 2x is 0x. X is gone, so we always looked at what's left. And that's not true. 48 does not equal 18. When this happens, there's no solution. So this one is B, no solutions. Realize, you guys, you only have 3 options. There's either no solutions, there's infinite, that means infinity, there's infinite solutions, or there's just one answer. It's an ordered pair. 2 is never an option. So it's either no, infinite, or 1. This one has no solution. Number 5, solve the system by graphing. All right, when you graph, you want your equations to be an mx plus b. I have that on this one, so I don't have to move everything. This is ideal. So the first line, the y-intercept is negative 6. I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plot that point right there. And then I'm going to count my slope of 1/3. That's up. And the bottom number is right. So you're going to go up 1, right 3. I would keep counting it. I feel like the more points you have, the easier it is to see the answer. Up 1, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So there's that line. Now I'm going to graph the other line. So this one has a y-intercept of 1. So I go up 1, plot a point, and the slope is negative 2 over 1. Okay, I'm going to count that down and right. So down 2, right 1, and I'm going to keep counting it until, boom, right there, I land on that other line. That makes it really easy for me to see my answer. The answer is right here. I just have to name that ordered pair. So you start in the middle. I'm going to go right 1, 2, 3, down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 3, down is negative, negative 5. All right, that one's done. Number 6, write and solve a system of equations to represent the situation. So this one's nice, you guys. They made it really easy for you. They told you what the variables were. See how you're trying to find Roger and Junior? So Roger's age, Junior's age, use R and J. There's your variables. Junior is Roger's son. Cool. The sum means add, of their ages is means equals. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and write an equation from that. If I add Roger and Junior, R plus J, it is, or it equals, 57. All right, then they also tell me, so there's one equation done. Now I'm going to write the other one. Roger's age is, there it is again, equals 5 more than triple junior. More than is add. Technically, it goes backwards, but if you're adding, it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to write it like it reads for you guys' sake. 5 more than, if you triple junior, triple means you multiply by 3. So I'm going to write this 3j. All right, I got it set up. Now I just need to solve. You get to decide, do I want to do substitution or elimination? This one is a lot better for substitution because there's a variable by itself. You have r by itself right here. So I'm going to do substitution. R, let me fix this too. I feel like my 5 is really sloppy. But r, sorry, that's a 5. R is the same thing as 5 plus 3j. So, here I go again, it's getting messy. So what I'm going to do, here we go, is take that, and I'm going to come up to the top equation. I'm going to remove r and substitute in its place 5 plus 3j. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is a 5. There we go. Okay, so this top equation, I'm going to rewrite it. Instead of starting with r right here, I'm going to put 5 plus 3j. Now I'm going to continue the rest of it. Plus j equals 57. Now I have an equation that just uses j, so this is a lot easier to figure out. If I combine the j's right there, that's 4j. And then I subtract 5. So 4j equals 52. Last step is to divide by 4. So j equals 52 divided by 4 is 13. Okay, perfect. That is how old Junior is. He's 13 years old. Once you have one answer, so I have one, you bring it all the way back up, and you're going to plug it in. I always plug it into what I circled because I know that J right here is now 13. Junior's 13, so I'm going to plug that in. See if I can erase this without erasing everything. So stick in 13 right there. And now just work this out. 5 plus 3 times 13 is 39. So 5 plus 39, Roger, is 44. All right. Next problem. So number 7 says use substitution. So you need to do what they tell you to do. So don't make this one harder than it needs to be. You have variables by itself. This is good to go. X is the same thing as negative 3y plus 19. Come down to the second equation, take x out, replace it with negative 3y plus 19. So that'll be what's on the left now. On the right, it doesn't change. We can solve this. So I'm going to get the y's together. I'm going to add 3y. So 19 equals 5y minus 1. Then I'm going to add 1 and divide by 5. Okay, so my answer, I'm going to write it like an ordered pair. I'll write the y value down here. Y is 20 divided by 5. Y is 4. Okay, so that's the y. Once you find one number, you bring it back up, and you're going to plug it into either equation to find the x. So let's use a different color. I like this one better. 19 is kind of big, so I'm going to plug it into the second one. So x equals 2 times, I know y right there, you guys. I know it's 4. So that's just 8 minus 1. Okay, x is 7. So this is a really good way to write your answer as an ordered pair, 7, 4.